Hey everybody, this is Dan from Mechanical Malarkey. Today I'm going to show you how to install a trailer wiring connector on a vehicle that already has some of the wires in place. The exact way to do this will vary depending on what connector you're installing, the vehicle, and other factors. But while I'm installing this, I will show you some things to consider when you're installing yours. First, we'll take a look at the vehicle side. Now this truck is a 1993 Chevrolet 2500, and it actually comes with some of the trailer wires already installed in the truck. This was zip tied up in the back of the bed area. If your truck doesn't have this, then you'll need to splice into the existing wires on the truck, which is an entirely different video. So I pulled this down, and to unwrap it and figure out what wires there are. So as you can see here, there are 5 wires coming out of the truck. So that likely means that there is ground, running lights, left brake and turn, right brake and turn, and reverse lights. But need to figure out which one is which so we can wire it up right. You can't assume that every vehicle uses the same colors on the wires. So to determine which wires are which, you're going to need either a voltmeter or a test light, and then turn on individual lights and check which of these wires is getting power. Now one of these wires is going to be a ground wire, and you might think you should just hook your ground wire on your test light or your voltmeter up to that. But when I was testing this out earlier, I actually found that this ground wire is not actually attached to anything right now. So I need to ground the other end of the wire. So it'd be good to hook up the other end to something that you know is a good ground. That could be the negative battery cable, or just some other ground on some other harness, or some good, clean, bare metal. You can't just clip it onto something painted, because that's not necessarily going to transmit the power right. When I was figuring out the wires in this truck, I actually hooked onto the trailer hitch where it's been rubbed right here and there's no paint. That actually gave me a good ground for testing these wires. So remove the tape on the end of the wires. You may also have to strip the wires. These are already stripped from when I was testing this before. Now if all the wire ends are bare like this, you want to keep them apart so you don't accidentally short anything out, and also don't touch the vehicle itself with the wires. So now hook up your voltmeter or test light to a good ground, turn on the headlights, and find the wire that it lights up with, or tells you battery voltage. This lights up when I touch the brown wire with the headlights on. So now I know that this is for the running lights. Then turn off the lights and turn on one of the turn signals. You can see it's flashing when it's attached to the dark green wire. Once you've determined which wires are which, the last wire would be the ground wire. You may notice that the white wire is also a much bigger gauge on this truck. That would make sense because if you're running any kind of brakes or anything else on the trailer, you'll need a good, solid, heavy ground. This is the connector I chose to install on my truck. It's made by Hopkins, not a sponsor. It's a 7-blade 5 and 4 flat combo. So that means it has both this 7-pin connector as well as this connector with a 4 and 5 on it. If I was just installing a connector with a 4 or 5, I would just use the wires that are on the truck already. But because I have to add a wire for auxiliary power and a wire for the braking, I will have to add some more wires onto the truck. I'm not going to go into the full installation of those, but I will give you a few tips. The rest of the kit includes a mounting bracket. This is the cover that goes on the back to cover the wire connectors. It comes with grease to protect all those wire connectors, and then the hardware to mount the connector onto the bracket. It didn't come with hardware to mount the bracket onto the vehicle though, so I had to find some of that for myself. Now before we get into the actual wiring, we need to figure out where we want to mount this. You'll obviously want it somewhere near the hitch. Some vehicles have a space up here that might work. Mine, I'm just going to mount it on the bottom of the bumper. You need to figure out what part of the bumper. There's not enough of a lip right here to mount it on, but over here there is, where I'll be able to get a nut on the other side. It's going to go somewhere around here. You may notice that this hitch design has a big bar right here, and so if I have this in the wrong place, it may just cram the wires straight into that. I might have enough space to have it out just a little bit, like a ½ inch, and be able to just do a sharp turn on the wires there. The other option would be to bend the bracket so it points up into the gap. So now let's talk about wiring up the actual connector. Depending on the actual connector, some simpler ones may just use butt connectors on the wires themselves this one has screw terminals for each wire. Just read the manual that comes with your connector to make sure you know how they want you to do it. The way that this one wants you to do it is just to strip the wire and put it under the screw and tighten it. Here's a note from me in the future. When you unscrew the screws, it actually loosens this up, and you can put the wire in there if you're not using these connectors. I'm actually going to use ring terminals so that it gets a really nice solid connection in there. Also, because I live in New York, where in the winter we get salt spray on everything, I'm going to use shrink tubing around the ends of each connector to make sure that no water can get down on the wires. This will all be covered by this as well and have grease on it, but more protection is better than nothing. Then you need to know which wires go to which terminals. There are standard wiring setups, you can easily look them up, or the manual that came with this one tells me which ones go where. Like I said, I have to run a trailer brake wire and an auxiliary power wire. Those should typically be a 10 or 12 gauge wire. I'm going to be using 10 gauge wire. I'm not going to be fully hooking these up to the front of the truck right now, just adding them in the back so I can hook them up later, because I just want to get this installed today. Now a quick word on wiring tools. This is your typical wire stripper and crimper. You can strip the wires in here and crimp the connectors in here. This is an automatic wire stripper where you stick the wire in there, it automatically sizes it and strips it. It also can do the crimping down here and cutting. Sometimes I find wires that this just doesn't want to strip for whatever reason, so I still use these. Then I find for myself I like crimping on the end rather than the inside. It's a lot harder to get things lined up in here. But even better than crimping with this is this. This style, it's ratcheting, so you know you get it all the way in because it releases. So you put the wiring connector in there, crimp it down until it releases, and you know it's good. Because with this style, you just have to figure that it's good enough. That's why I like these ones. Then because I'm using shrink tubing, I need a heat gun. So now, before you start wiring, because the wires are going to go through the bracket, you need to install the bracket. That gives me plenty of room for the wires. Make sure you're wearing safety glasses, especially if you're drilling right above your face. So now that I know which wires are which, and I have the bracket installed, it's time to start actually wiring up the connector. So I need to run the wires over the top of the hitch bar, and then through the bracket. So then the wires need to feed through the back of the cover. Both those and the two extra wires that I'm going to be adding in. And the exact placement of this will be adjusted once I get all the wires hooked up. I just need it through so I have enough room to work on the wires. So I'll start with just putting all the ring terminals on the wires, and then I'll hook the wires onto the actual connector. I will start with the white ground wire. Now this is a pretty big size gauge, so I need the yellow connector. And because the shrink tube can fit over the crimped connectors, I will be crimping these on and then putting the tube over them. It can be helpful to put the connector in the crimper instead of try to put the crimper onto the connector while it's on the wire. Finally, the two wires I'm adding on. And now I'll put the shrink tube on. And now, following the diagram, I will attach the wires onto the trailer connector. I ended up untaping more of the harness because I didn't have enough free play of all the wires to get them in the right spots. I'm going to use the black wire I'm adding for the auxiliary power and the red wire for the brake power. Now that everything's connected, I'm going to tape it together a little to make it a little neater, and then put the cover on. Now, having all that shrink wrap and all those wires going through the grommet makes it a pretty tight fit. So it's going to take a good bit of force to get this all together. And before putting it together, you need to make sure you put the grease in here. And now, bundle all this up in tape too. Could try to fit these wires into this loom, but that's probably going to be more trouble than I feel like dealing with right now. I'm just going to tape it all on. And I'll feed all this up through here. And to make sure I put a bend in the wire here so it can actually make the bend I need. And then mount the connector onto the bracket. I just need to tie up the wires under the bed. So now here under the bed, I'm just going to zip tie the harness up out of the way, and I'm going to cut off some of this extra wire, leave enough that I can later tie into it with the wires for the auxiliary power and the brake. I also still need to hook up the ground wire. I don't know why it's not hooked up on this truck right now, but it's had other wiring work done in it, so who knows. I didn't like how the wires was just rubbing against this metal edge here. So I took a piece of hose, cut it, slid it, put it around the wiring, and now it's safe from rubbing against the bumper there. Once you're done wiring everything in, if you have a trailer or towing lights like these, you can check that the wiring's working. Obviously this isn't checking the reverse lights or the auxiliary power or brake control signal, but I can tell things are working. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel, follow me on social media on Facebook and Instagram, and read the blog at mechanicalmalarkey.com. Thanks for watching.